Hello student, this is your history class standard 7. Today I am going to start your Sher-Shah Suri. Sher-Shah Suri time period is given 1540 to 1545 CE. The Mughal Empire founded by Babur passed into the hands of Sher-Shah Suri in 1540 CE. He ascended the throne and assumed the title of Sher-Shah Suri. Sher-Shah Suri, whose real name was Farid, Sher-Shah Suri real name was Farid, was the son of pretty Afghan Jagirdar of Sasaram in Bihar. For a brief period, Farid had entered the service of the ruler of Bihar. He received the title Sher Khan for killing a tiger single-handedly. He had joined the Mughal army of Babur and closely studied the Mughal military technique. Taking advantage of Humayun's weakness, Sher-Shah Suri decided to overthrow the Mughals and to restore Afghan rule in Delhi. He defeated Humayun at Chausa in 1539 CE and later at Kannauj in 1540 CE. Sher-Shah became the Emperor of Shah of Hindustan. It means this is a picture of Sher-Shah Suri. Now I have to explain you about Sher-Shah Suri. Sher-Shah Suri was originally known as Farid. He was son of Hasan Khan. Hasan Khan was a Jagirdar of Sasaram in Bihar. Initially, he looked after the work of his father, but later employment under the Afghan ruler of Bihar. He was given the title of Sher Khan when he killed a tiger single-handed. Due to his abilities, he rose to become the regent of the minor ruler of Bihar. His ambition led him to raise a large army. While Humayun was busy in Gujarat, he conquered Gaur. It was the capital of Bengal. He spread his influence over Bengal, Bihar and Jharkhand. By defeating Humayun in 2 battles, he became the Emperor of Delhi. He expanded the empire by conquering Punjab, Sindh, Multan, Gwalior, Malwa and a large part of Rajasthan. His empire stretched from Bengal in the east to the Indus in the west. Now next topic is given Sher-Shah Suri administration. Sher-Shah Suri was not only a good general but also had qualities of a great administration. He brought many changes in the civil, military and land revenue system. First of all, I give you a little bit introduction about the civil administration. He divided the empire into 47 sarkars, were further divided into the Pargana. Pargana means group of villages. Village was the lowest unit of administration. The Sarkar were put under 3 main officers. 3 main officers, number 1 is given Sikdar, number 2 Munsif, number 3rd Qazi. In Sikdar given the charge of law and order, army and financial condition. Munsif is given revenue collector and the last Qazi is given chief judge. Sher-Shah looked after the administration on his own. He regularly to make the administration efficient. The officials were transferred every 2 or 3 years. He maintained a large army system. It kept him well informed about his officer. Means whatever they will give the message, first they will inform their officer. After confirming, they will send to the message to the Sher-Shah Suri. Now the next topic is given in your book, Provincial Administration. provincial administration, Seth Shah Suri divided his kingdom into province or sarkar. The sarkar were further divided into district or pargana, each with two officials, a sikdar and a munsif or amin. Sikdar's duty was to preserve law and order. What I am given right now, same thing is given. Sikdar duty was to preserve law and order, and munsif assessed and collected the revenue with the help of treasurer and to accountant. At the provisional level, the chief sikdar and the chief munsif supervised official of the pargane. The villages were under officers like mukaddams, kotwal and patwaris. Every level of administration was personally supervised by Seth Shah Suri himself, who was assisted by a council of ministers. It means the whole empire was divided into provinces. Each province was under the administrations of two officials known as the chief sikdar and the chief munsif. The chief sikdar was a military officer who maintained peace and order. The chief munsif was the civil officer who supervised the assessment and collection of land revenue system. Now the next is given your army system. Student, you have to read your paragraph, but I have to explain here point wise, which is very important for you. In army system, Seth Shah had a well-trained large army. It consisted of cavalry, infantry and war elephants. He brought a number of changes to raise the efficiency of the army. Number one is given. He introduced the rank system. I repeat, he introduced the rank system. Number two, the pay was fixed and the soldiers got regular salaries in cash. He implemented dag, branding of all horses. Dag means branding of all horses, and chehra, accurate description of soldiers and identification. Next one is given. Strict discipline among soldiers were enforced. Next point, Seth Shah also created cantonments. The soldiers were divided into cantonments and positions in various parts of the country. And the last point is given. Keeping in mind that military is the backbone, Seth Shah personally supervised the requirements of the soldiers. So these are the most important points of military reforms either in the army force. Now the next is given land revenue system. Seth Shah Suri greatest achievement was in the sphere of land revenue. All the cultivable land was carefully measured and the average field was calculated. The state share was fixed and nearly 1/3 of the produce payable in cash or kind. Each peasant was given a document called patra, where the amount of tax to be paid by the peasant was clearly mentioned. The dues of the states from the peasant were written in document called kabuliyat. He asked his officer to be lenient while assigning the land but strict while collecting the revenue. Seth Shah Suri revenue reform were thus human and enhanced efficiency. Even the great Mughal ruler Akbar adopted it with minor changes. It means Seth Shah introduced an effective revenue system. All lands were measured. They were then classified into 3 categories: good, number 1, second average, and the last bad. The tax was 1/3 of the total produce. It could be paid in cash or kind. The peasants were exempted from paying. the taxes during flood and famine. They were also given soft loans on easy term by the state. Now the next is given communication. Communication, same to same, I have to deal with you point wise. Sher Shah worked for the welfare of his people. So it is divided into 6 important points. Number 1. It built into an excellent network of roads. Most famous among them was Sadke-Azam. It is also known as Grand Trunk Road. It moves from the northeast to northwest of India. Next is given Sarai. Sarai were built along the roads. Third, trees were planted on both sides of the road. Fourth, an officer was responsible for the safety of the travelers. He was called Muqaddam. 1700 such sarai were constructed throughout the empire. These sarais later become centers of trade. Next point is given. Towns and cities gradually developed around the sarai. These sarais were also served as dak chowkis. And the last one is very important. This is the picture of Qos Minar pillar. Last point. Pillars called Qos Minar were built at every 3 kilometers along important roads. These were distance markers and signposts. Next point is given trade and commerce. Peace and order and network of good roads led a flourishing trade. Number 1, Sher Shah reduced the custom duty. It was only charged at 2 points. Number 2, he issued a new coin. Look at this. This is a picture of coin called Rupaya. It was used till 1853 AD. And the last point, weight and measures were also standardized. All these measures further strengthened trade. Next is given law and order. Law and order was maintained through the principle of local responsibility. The village headman was answerable for any crime committed in the local area. This made him very vigilant, leading to peace and harmony. Now the last is given cultural contribution. This is a picture of given Purana Kila. Contribution is given. Sher Shah was a devout Muslim but was tolerant towards other religions. He appointed Hindus to high posts in the administrations. Brahmjit Gaur was a famous Hindu general of Sher Shah. Sher Shah Suri was also famous for art and architecture. He built a fort in Delhi. This is known as Purana Kila. This is known as Purana Kila. There is a beautiful mosque in the fort. It is called Qila-e-Kuhana. Masjid is his most famous tomb in Mausoleum at Sasaram, Bihar. It is surrounded by an artificial lake. This is a tomb of Sher Shah Suri at Sasaram in Bihar. Sher Shah also patronized scholars. Malik Muhammad Jasi wrote Padmavat during his rule. One last important information I want to give you. When did Sher Shah Suri died? Sher Shah Suri died in 1545 AD when gunpowder exploded accidentally near him during a battle. Sher Shah ruled only for 5 years, but these 5 years are glorious pages in the history of administration of India. So student, chapter 9 is your completed. You have to read your according to paragraph wise and understood. Now next class we will discuss about your answer question. Thank you.